Hey friends, happy full moon in Aries. I'm super excited to share with you what I been looking at with this full moon in Aries and show you how you can work with it or discuss how you can work with this moon so that you live your best life. My name is Latoya. I'm from Emerald Astrology and I'm an intuitive astrologer. Love talking about the moon. So let's dig right on in. So this full moon, first, what is the full moon? So the full moon is a wonderful time to make space for yourself, to pause and reflect on what you've been through for the past several weeks. Especially in America, we like to go, 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 create, 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 produce, produce, produce. And sometimes, not doing that, we don't make time to pause and reflect and um, just really get to know ourselves and if we're actually wanting these things that we're producing in our lives or manifesting. So when working with the moon, you can get into this rhythm of creation and reflection and then destruction if you don't want to keep those certain things in your life. So working with the moon is as a gift. And if you're watching this video, you're interested in the moon and possibly manifesting and living with your cycles and understanding your cycles. So that's great. Welcome. But yeah, so the full moon is all about giving yourself some time to reflect. This can be, 20 minutes. It can be an hour, depending on, if you whatever your nature is, and if you allow yourself to have these moments. But it's a good time to do this, as well as celebrating what you've accomplished and or dodged, because with the moon, full moon, there's this manifestation. It could be a physical thing. It can be just a realization, depending on the nature of the moon aspects that it's making to other planets as well. Or just, what you've been working on with your life. And it's the time. So it's aspecting your own charts, planets, etc. But you'll have this manifestation, you'll have this realization, and you can give space for yourself to celebrate, what you've accomplished or dodged, and make room for what's to come. So it's important to celebrate yourself, especially if you've been a rough moon cycle and just life happens and things can be a bit challenging. So it's good to celebrate yourself with something, that can be small. It doesn't have to be crazy, like let's celebrate, but some like a big party, but it can be, why not? It's your life. And especially with this full moon in Aries, I feel like it's about going your own way, doing your own thing. And with it being 27 degrees and 26 minutes, the tail end of Aries, we are closing a chapter in a way. It's kind of like the moon is showing us we're wrapping up some lessons of having to do with Aries. And, maybe, you set your intentions with this, the new moon in Libra that happened a couple of weeks ago. And that having to do relationship, and that ties into this full moon because Aries is opposite Libra. So this is a good moon. I'm stretching. Feels good. I've did some strength training and I feel like that was a good and good spirits of Aries. It's all about strengthening your body and just saying I'm here and I'm doing my best to take up space and to make myself strong and ready for anything. And so strength training, I feel like it's part of a good way of honoring full moon in Aries and just honoring yourself in general, taking care of yourself. So I'm probably gonna be stretching throughout this video because my body hurts. But okay, so the full moon in Aries, it's shining a light on where you need to assert yourself and assert your independence in your life. So wherever Aries is placed in your chart, take a look. For me, it's in the 9th house because I'm Leo rising. And so it's something to do with how I gather higher knowledge, maybe, or like assert myself with the knowledge that I have, or so you can pretty much play with keywords there, like look at your house placement, what the Aries means. So the keywords of Aries, so that could be courage, that can be anger, that can be assert. I can't know if I'm saying the word right. Asserting yourself is what I'm trying to say. It's also, energy, also change. So these keywords here, wrapping these lessons up in this house of Aries was what the moon is highlighting. Now, the ruler of this moon is Mars. Mars is 23 degrees in Libra with the sun. So it's conjunct the sun. And with this, it's signifying there's a new cycle happening with Mars because it's reached the sun and it's now hidden behind its beams. So there can be, when I see this, there can be some hidden frustration. There can be, just this tension that's building up within the body, or your creative, or your sense of creativity, your sense of self, because the sun has to do with sense of self, your creativity, how you shine in the world. So Mars is with this sun and Libra, Libra having to do with relationships and how you honor your values as well as the other, and make a compromise. Some stuff is just bubbling up a little bit. You're starting to feel this kind of frustration, or ready to start something here, or ready to take things into your own hands, but it's hidden. The way you're taking action is in a hidden kind of way. So if you are noticing some things in your life where you're kind of having this frustration building up and you're wanting to take control over it, just be aware that you're not being too brash and overpowering your relationships or that partner, because Mars can tend to do this. Like, how can you invite them into what you're feeling? And maybe this is while you set a new intention. So the full moon is really like highlighting this because the Mars is opposite the moon as well, and so this could be this great tension, this need to find balance, this need to acknowledge that you're feeling this anger, this frustration in whatever area of your life that you're wanting to take charge of. So that's what I'm seeing there. Now, and the moon is also separating from Mars, from this opposition. So it's lessening. It's not as intense, but leading up to the full moon, you're going to be feeling that. You could be feeling that, depending on how you relate to your Mars, or just Mars energy, courage, anger, assertion, exerting your energy, depending on how you relate to that in your chart, or just like how you in general in life, in the season of your life. That could either, you might be doing okay with balancing that energy and able to put it somewhere that is useful in regards to, developing your own sense of self and building a relationship. Or maybe things go sideways. So it depends on how you handle this energy. Now, Pluto is also involved with this moon. Mars squares it, moon squares it, creating a T-square. And just seeing Pluto at the apex of this aspect configuration, power struggles is what's being unearthed right now, and it needs to be addressed. So how are you using your power? Lately, for me, I get excited when, especially, and if you're, follow your own menstrual cycle, Um, when I'm in my maiden phase, my follicular phase, I get really excited and I want to do all the things all at once and burn myself out. So just like even like stuff like that is just like being aware of how to use your power. And are you exerting too much? Are you not putting in enough and other people are taking control over your power and your energy? So how can you build a more intentional relationship with your power? And what does that even mean to you? Do you feel empowered in your relationships? Do you feel empowered with your connection with your emotions, with your Mars energy, with your ability to channel your energy into something that matters to you? How do you relate to this, principle, Pluto in your life? Pluto also has to deal with trauma. So things that you struggled with in the past are manifesting itself because it needs to be dealt with. And this can be really hard, especially if you work really hard to hide it. So definitely reach out for help with a professional if there's some things that really are coming up and it's overwhelming. It's okay to ask for help, with a professional, therapist, anything like that, because any kind of aspects to the moon from Pluto, or the moon aspecting Pluto, is a bit challenging coming from, I have Pluto conjunct the moon, a moon conjunct Pluto in my natal chart. It is not an easy placement, especially with it being in Scorpio. It's like a double Hades moon. If you don't know what that is, check that out. Judy Hall. It's a great book talking about Pluto and aspect to the moon and what that means. But that is, it's a lot to unpack there. It's a lot of stories that you're carrying from your own traumatic experiences from others in the family, as well as the collective. So very sensitive aspect, and brings some really tough stuff up. It can, depending on if you have any sensitive points there in your own chart. Pluto is currently 24 degrees in Capricorn. So any later degrees in the cardinal signs, in your own natal chart, you'll feel this aspects coming up from the moon. And also Pluto's direct, so things are moving forward. It's no longer like a internalized thing. It's coming out, and it's ready to be addressed and incorporated into your life. The insights that you've been getting while it was retrograde. So how can you make the most of this moon? So giving yourself space to reflect on what's been brought up. What can you do with what's been brought up? Things are wrapping up, things are closing in your life. So where can you set the intention with your energy, with what you're willing to put your energy into, and moving forward? It's kind of interesting because like the full moon is about closure and culmination, but the ruler of this moon is conjunct the sun, so it makes me think of new beginnings too. Another thing about how to make the most of this moon is not giving your power away. So how can you be more aware of when you're giving your power away? I know, like for me, it's whenever I feel drained with dealing with some people, maybe, I'm just giving too much and I'm not receiving enough. And it's not their fault. It's just like this programming that I have in my own head, dealing with my Pluto things, and requires me to take ownership of that and decide what am I willing to give? What am I not willing to give? Or what do I need in exchange of giving this? So I'm hearing a lot of like this power and this Libra themes because we're still Libra season 2. And then last but not least, not allowing fear to determine how you will act in relationship. This kind of came up for me when I was looking at this because when like Moon and Aries, you're the question I when I see this is like how can I own my independence, or like how can I become more independent in my life and not allow fear to stop me from doing that, not allow a relationship that I feel completes me, takes that ability away from me, that ability to express my independence or my need to be my self. And yeah, I just see with this moon, it's like how can you be aware whenever you're acting in fear or you're acting in your power? And it's just something to keep your eye on, because Pluto also has to do with fears. I mean, it's just the stuff that you try to hide because it's so much that it's too much. And but some bits, will come up, and sorry, I'm kind of looking at the chart. Yeah, Pluto is overcoming this moon, so yes, it's a good moon. It's a good moon to really exercise your power, exercise who you really, to state who you really are, and nothing to be afraid of. It's all you. It's all for you. It's all for your evolution, your growth, and how to express love for yourself. So I also did not mention, but the full moon is on October 20th on Wednesday. So I hope you have a great full moon experience. If you would like any moon readings, I have that available for you. Just go to the a link in the description to learn more about my moon readings and get yourself one for the next moon, and or this one if you're watching it early enough. And Zaria and I also had published our or the podcast will be live, if not already live. And so if you want to know more about this full moon and how we are working with it and what we believe is the gifts of Aries, if you're an Aries, you definitely want to watch this podcast or listen to this podcast. So go ahead and check that out. The link is also below in the description. And yeah, I think that's all the announcements I have for you. I hope you have a great full moon in Aries, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.